stay charged and stay on task. And it's going to sort of piggyback on some of the things that I've talked about over the past few Tuesday nights. And much of it, though, is going to deal with the sales cycle, some of which Sam talked about this morning, the use of the open-ended questions and the closed-ended questions. As a former teacher, you know that I had to use those almost every day in every way in the classroom, but also on a sales at the sales table and setting the appointment. You also have to know when to have those questions posed, whether they be open-ended or closed-ended. But as a salesperson, you're always wanting to be in control of this, of the conversation, of the flow of the sales process. But tonight I'm going to talk about staying charged and staying on task. Let me see where am I right here. And let's start. So when we're talking about staying charged and staying on task, what you have to keep in mind at all times, if you lose sight, you're going to lose the fight. Now, the information that I have here tonight has come from several different trainings that I've had. I have been in every network marketing company that's imaginable. I think I was probably 18 years old when I started off with a company. My second year in college, I sold Avon because that was all I could do. I had broken my arm while at school, and I had to do something, and I started selling Avon. I've done Mary Kay, I've done you name it, and I have basically done it. And each one of those network marketing companies, or MLM, have always had some kind of training apparatus in effect that we were supposed to study and we were supposed to master. And so the information that I'm giving you tonight is coming from those various trainings that I've had. But if you lose sight, you're going to lose the fight. So for tonight, my webinar agenda is first, identify your what and your why. You may remember one Tuesday night, I talked about determining what your why is. You want to plug into the system. Thirdly, you want to establish a daily action plan. And what I'm going to talk about tonight is only going to brush the surface, but you need a daily action plan. You also want to become a professional inviter, and you want to manage your expectations. So let's talk about identifying your what and your why. First, what got you excited about Paid Daily Lifestyle or your business opportunity that you happen to be, a part of now? Was it because it's a stay-at-home business, or is it that you enjoy helping others? What exactly got you excited? Was it the fact that you had a flexible schedule? Consider that. Secondly, why are you actually doing this business? Is it designed to supplement your income, to leave a family legacy, or to achieve financial freedom? All of these should be questions that you want to kind of zero in on, focus on, because if your why is not strong enough, you're going to have a challenge. Your why has to be so big that your obstacles will pale in comparison. I think E.T. says it, Eric Thomas says it, your why has to be so strong that it will make you cry. So we want to make sure that we're plugging into the system, and that means knowing those training schedules. And in our Facebook groups, there are trainings. This training schedule is available to you. We know that on Mondays at 9 a.m. we have the Motivational Monday with Ray and Lisa. On Monday, we have at nightfall the free conference call platform with Burdell and Moses. On Tuesday, you have Sam Warren, who's doing chicken noodle soup. For the past few Tuesdays, he's been talking about the sales cycle, On Tuesday night, I try to piggyback on what San has talked about, and we call it chicken noodle soup warmed over. On Wednesdays, we do that blogging platform. On Thursdays at 9 o'clock, we've got email marketing with Ramon Escalera. On Friday, we have Renita Farrell, who actually talks about mobile marketing, branding, LinkedIn training, and that is our schedule. At one time, we were going 6 days a week, but now we are going on 5. We have 5 days of training, webinars. You also want to make sure that you plug into your Facebook groups. We've got 2 official Facebook groups, the Paid Daily Lifestyle, which is a closed group, and Paid Daily Lifestyle Team Connect, which has really reformulated itself and retitled itself to Paid Daily Lifestyle Team Connect. But you want to be in those groups so that you can stay plugged into what's going on in the Paid Daily Lifestyle system on the platform, as well as PDL Pro. Now let's talk about a daily action plan, because again, when you lose sight, you're going to lose the fight. What do we need to do? First, you need to set aside consistent time to work your business daily, and you want to work your list. We have a wonderful contact management system now, the PDL Pro, which will allow you to manage your list, to work your list. You also want to make your phone calls daily. You want to set your appointments. You want to become familiar with your website, because once you become familiar with it, you kind of lose the fear of talking about your product. Any questions that any prospect should ask you, you'd be able to, kind of fill them in or point them in a direction that they need to go in to understand more about your business. You want to also understand the importance of personal development, because your income will only grow to the extent that you do. You want to read a self-development book or listen to an audio for at least 15 minutes every day. Most of the gurus tell us that the first thing in the morning we should be listening to some kind of a motivational message. If it's nothing more than reading a biblical scripture, a chapter of the Bible, or a chapter of, one of the books that are considered the classics. And you want to do that also at night. And you want to start this practice, if you can, tonight. Go to bed with a thought that will give you motivation for your sleeping hours, and so that you can get up in the morning refreshed and revitalized. Now, there are several books that I would recommend, and I have read all of these. You've got Napoleon Hill. This one is the classic. If you can pick it up, do so. If you don't like reading, like some folk we know, they're not visual, but they're audio. So you can get the audio books. Think and Grow Rich. You've got Rhonda Byrne's The Secret, which is not only the book form, but you've got the video as well. Wallace D. Wattles has written several books that deal with the law of attraction, but the one that you want to put in your library is The Science of Getting Rich. And these are also PDFs that you can download to your computer and read them at your leisure. Les Brown has done a fabulous job with Live Your Dreams, where he talks about the power of the human spirit to overcome every obstacle that it might have. But you want to fashion your dreams, prepare your goals, and work towards the accomplishment of those dreams, those goals. James Allen, a very small little paperback, As a Man Thinketh, and it comes from my Bible verse, as a man thinketh, so is he. Russell Conwell, who's introduced to us by Ray Main one morning, The Acres of Diamonds, and I believe that book should be in both of those Facebook groups as a downloadable PDF. And if I haven't put James Allen's As a Man Thinketh in the group, I will put it in there tonight. Now, of course, I cannot exhaust in this short time all of the many books and audios that help you grow and become a better entrepreneur online, offline. But here are 6 classics that you can begin your library with. You want to create a contact list, and you want to always keep in mind that your list is worth $1,000,000. So here's some memory joggers for you. You have your mother, you have your dad, sisters and brothers, you have cousins. All of these people may not be whom you think are possible contacts or prospects for you, but somebody has a business opportunity that needs maybe a contact manager, or some of these folk might be looking for additional income streams. Do not ever underestimate that these people may want to join you in your business endeavor. Your AC, your air conditioning man comes in, and you can carry on a little chit chat with him and ask him some of the open-ended questions that San talked about this morning. And I mean, I have always engaged conversation with people to find out what their interests are and if they may be interested in a business opportunity. Those high school friends that you have may be far away, but nonetheless, they may have launched businesses that you can help them, with a contact manager, or even the 3x3 matrix that we have with the PDL platform, people looking to make additional income. But you want to expand your warm market, your cold market, your old market, and make them into a new market. You want to also make sure that you work your list. When you call someone, don't just jump into the invitation. You want to relax and take time to find out as much as you can about their personal situation. You want to find out, well, how are they? You want to be more interested in them than interesting. And what I mean by interesting is what you want from them. It's not what's in it for you, but rather what's in it for them, because we're always looking to provide a solution to a problem. When the time is right, you want to go for it. And oftentimes you've got buying signals that your prospect will give you. You want to work on that list. Conversation topics that will help to release pain is based on this acronym form. The F is for family and friends. The O is for occupation or job. So you can talk to your prospect about the family, about their friends, next door neighbor. How's your child doing in school? Did you say your child went to XYZ school? That I see you live in this neighborhood, and I used to attend school in that area. Just a conversation that will get you on the level ground, if you will, with your prospect. It's called the common ground motif here. Talk about their workplace, their job, what their aspirations are. The R is for recreation, their fun, their avocations. What are your hobbies? What do you like doing? I know as an insurance agent, one of the things that we were told to do when you call on your prospect, you want to take a look at the exterior, because sometimes you've got a finely manicured lawn, and that becomes a way in which you can start a conversation with your prospect once you get to the table. The M is for money and for the economy. I see that, there are gross numbers of layoffs in the marketplace, and most persons are living one check away from bankruptcy. Did you know that? So wouldn't you be interested, therefore, in maybe trying to get a second income, or a part-time, or another stream of income? And here is where you introduce your business opportunity. You want to become a professional inviter, and this is what San and Ramon have been talking about for the past week, inviting people to the presentations. Sales or selling is a process. You are living in a dream world if you expect to just post your site out there and have loads of people just joining without starting a relationship of communication with your prospect. So again, it's about relationship marketing, attraction marketing, if you will. Sometimes we have what are called lay down sales, and they oftentimes will happen, but if you're on the internet, if you're not writing compelling ad copy, you may have to realize that you've got your work cut out for you. It is not just putting ads out there on Facebook or on Twitter or on Pinterest. You've got to develop relationships with your folk. You have to put in some work equity, if you will. So when you are calling on a friend or an acquaintance or an opt-in for your capture pages and you get on the telephone with them, you have one main purpose. That is to invite the prospect to view your business opportunity. Let me see if this is going to work. So that having been said, let me see. Excuse me. You want to distinguish between what a presentation is and an invitation. Now, what exactly is a presentation? With a presentation, you're talking about the 3x3 matrix when it comes to PDL, opportunity launch. You're talking about the compensation plan. You're talking about the cost of the product. And with a presentation, you're giving all kinds of details. But when you're giving an invitation, what you need to be doing is piquing the interest of your prospect. You want to set an appointment with the prospect. You don't want to mix the presentation with the invitation, because talking too much and giving too much information or too many details will actually turn people on. Turn them off. You want to make them receptive to coming to a meeting, just kind of dangling the little carrot, so to speak, in front of their faces. So what's a possible invitation script? I just partnered with a group of entrepreneurs in an online business, and they figured out how to get paid, and you could fill in the blank there. Your name came to mind because we're looking for people to join our dynamic team who are already successful but interested in having a little more. Now, this might not be for you, John, but it might be. But I want you to hear this and check it out for yourself. So there you have an invitation to a webinar, whatever, but it's piquing his interest rather than giving him all the facts. Another one. Hello, John. How are you today? Do you have a minute? The reason I'm calling you is that I'm very excited about a unique business opportunity that I started. I'm looking for 6 key partners to work with part-time to earn an extra $2,000 to $5,000 per month in this area. I'm highly considering you because, I really respect your leadership. You think you might be open to reviewing this information? And the prospect very well may say, well, what kind of a business opportunity are you talking about? And then your reply would be, pay daily lifestyle, or whatever your business opportunity might be. But you want to have an elevator speech, 1 or 2 sentences that kind of capsulize what your business is. And again, the whole intent is to get them to the meeting, okay? The way that you're going to show the plan, you want to invite them to review your website. You have also an opportunity to create what's called a peaking website. And Ann has one of those. Rather than to tell the whole story about paid daily lifestyle or opportunity launch, she just has some key points that are flashed there on her website. I think she did it through Wix or either Weebly. But you can create your own peak website. Also, webinars. We have those Monday through Friday. You also have 2-on-1. We talked about this last week, where you can have your sponsor and yourself talk to a prospect. You've got YouTube videos, and you have email marketing. You have live conference calls, and you can even have in-home meetings. Sometimes what entrepreneurs will do is get a group of people together and have a meeting. Stan and Ramon are talking about now doing hotel meetings, going around the nation and sharing pay daily lifestyle with prospects. But once you do set up the appointment, well, you want to set up and you want to follow up with your calls, with your prospects within 24 hours. They become your hot leads versus your cold ones or your warm. You never, ever want to forget about the value of using the three-way call approach. However, you want to make sure that you set up a time in advance with your sponsor, and you and your sponsor will call those people together on a three-way call. What some people will do is, if they're real go-getters, they will schedule a day of the week with the sponsor or with the upline so that he or she can actually contact people whom they have on their list. Now, what about appointment setting? You want to always give your prospects two choices when setting that appointment. You might want to say something like, what's better for you, weekends or weekdays? And if the prospect says weekends, then you want to say Saturday or Sunday. And if he says Sunday, then you want to say, is the afternoon or the evening good for you? He may say the evening, and here's what you'll say. 5:15 or 7:45, which one's better for you? And bam, you've got the delivery of 5:15. Great, you'll say. That works for me as well. I'll see you then, or I'll talk to you then, call you then. This morning, Ramon showed us that we have our notes that we can make in our contact management system, make all kinds of notes about when we're going to do our follow-up, as well as sending our follow-up, our prospects, an email, or we can give them a call or a text message to remind them of the appointment that's coming very, very soon. You want to always have in mind before you call what setting you plan on inviting your guests to. It could be the webinar, it could be the live conference call, it could be a one-on-one, but remember that you have control. You have the control. Maybe you don't feel comfortable doing a one-on-one, so your venue would be the webinar or the conference call. And you want to do this again and again and again. And I think the more you do it, the better you'll become. So let's talk about, okay, we're there, we're getting ready to set the appointment, and bam, somebody gives us an objection. This may be a little bit boring, it may be a little repetitive, maybe some of you already know these, but here are some of the common objections that we get. People say, I don't like to talk to people. I can't make a presentation. Oh, guess what? You don't have to present. We have some members of our platform who are ready to do the presentations for you. They do them Monday through Friday, and bam, that objection is resolved. The next one is the one we hear all the time. That sounds like a pyramid. Only the people at the top make money. And you can easily say to them, without being offensive or arrogant, you know what, your job is a pyramid. Had you ever thought about that? You work to make your boss richer, and you'll never own his company. In this business, however, you work for yourself because you're an independent business owner. Here's another one. I don't have time. I'm much too busy. So you can say to that person, well, that's perfect. Busy people are productive people. You can work your business as you go. And after you deal with the objection, you always want to go back to the close with the appointment. Would Monday or Wednesday at 5 be better for you? And so you want to go back. You're always closing on the appointment. Here's another one about being busy. I'm busy. And you can say simply, I understand you're busy. When do you think is a good time you could carve out a few minutes? And then after he or she gives the answer, you want to go back to the close with the appointment. Here's one we often hear people say, I'm not a salesman. I can't sell. And you say to your prospects, great. Because we can't sell people anything they already have. We don't sell. We tell people about how a turnkey, no-brainer system for generating leads, managing those leads, and turning those leads into customers and referrals can take their business to the next level. And after you say that, you want to go back to the appointment setting. Okay, What's better for you, Monday or Wednesday or the weekend? I mean, you know what you just want to go back and always close for that appointment. Here, another one. I don't want to do it right now. I'm all right. You could simply say, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. This really isn't for everyone, but if you know anyone looking to change the quality of his or her life, please hold on to my card or my number and pass my name and number along. And then you go back for the appointment. When can I meet you to get that information or your referral? And remember, maybe this person may not be the one for you to join your business or to, take your, buy your product, but he or she may be the one that can lead you to the next person and the next person. And by the way, since we're on this, you also want to look at folk as being a center of influence. Sometimes they are not interested in your business, but they have so much pull and so much authority in the marketplace that they will, in fact, become a magnet for you with other prospects. So keep in mind the center of influence person. Here's another objection that you may get. Not now, maybe later. I have to move some money around. And you can say to this person, okay, when is a good time to get back in touch? In the meantime, I really would appreciate what? Referrals. We are in the referral business as well. And then I like this one. I don't like dealing with people or selling products. And you can say to this person, well, this is made for you because there is no product to inventory and it doesn't involve selling. Remember, with PDL and PDL Pro, we are sharing information with people, not selling, but sharing, finding the need and then filling it, finding a need and then filling it, having a problem and then offering the solution. And here's another one. Always we get this one. Is this selling? I really don't like to sell. And then you can say, well, this works even better if you don't like to sell. You're going to love this concept. And then you're going to, share with them. You've got the webinars that they can use this selling points or to present to their prospects. You've got live conference calls. You've got all kinds of means of sharing our products and our business opportunity. And this guy says, it sounds very interesting, but you know what? I don't have any money to start a new business. Look, you say to this person, it won't cost you anything to look, but it may cost you a fortune not to. And here you've got the what? Running the risk of losing out. And a lot of times people will look just at the business because of the fear of what? Losing. Do I have to buy anything? And then you can simply say, no, you don't have to buy anything you don't want to. I just want you to come, experience the product, learn about the products, and have a great time. And always going what? Back for the close. Are the weekends better for you or the weekdays? And get the person to commit. And always, this one is the real crowd, where they try to crouch or get out of the buying or the meeting. I need to talk it over with my spouse. And you say, well, you know what, that's great. Let's all get together because two sets of eyes are always better than one. And then you go back for the appointment. My challenge has always been with Mary Kay representatives. Those ladies are the most difficult to get to look at another opportunity because they always say, you know what, I'm 100% focused on my current business and I don't want to get off track. You simply say, I really appreciate your dedication and I don't want you to commit to anything. I just want some feedback. Asking for feedback is always a great way of getting people to look at your your business or your opportunity. I value your opinion. Would you just take a few minutes to view this video to see what you think? Would Monday be better or Wednesday be better for me to get back to you and to find out what you thought? And again, you're back to the what? Closing for the appointment. How much money are you making? Oh, they always want to know. Okay, so this is such a money-making opportunity. How much money are you making? And you simply say, well, you know, I'm just getting started. But you need to look at this and tell me what you like best. And if you really want to know about someone who's making money, a lot of money in this business, I'd like for you to talk to my mentor. And that's where you can get the third-party validation for your company there, the three-way call. But again, you're going back again to get the what? The appointment. So that having been said, what I want you to make sure that you do is manage your expectation. Nothing is bad enough to get all no's. And I'm sorry, nobody is bad enough to get all no's. And nobody is good enough to get all yeses. So we're talking about having success by design. You must be patient enough and committed enough to stay in the game. You want to set for yourself realistic goals. A couple Tuesdays ago, we talked about goals, setting those goals, using your SMART goals as a way of measuring the feasibility of goals that you might have. Lisa and Ray have done something on goals on a few Mondays as well, but those goals have to be realistic. You want to quantify your targets. In other words, how many appointments are you going to make? How many sales do you want to make for the month? And then you want to get it down to a science where some salespeople are actually able to identify the number of people whom they have to actually talk to before a sale is actually gotten. So you want to see how many people you need to talk to in order to get your goal or your target. You want to create a vision board. This is becoming very, very popular now, and it has been for a number of years, but so many people moving into the network marketing arena that they're starting to talk about things we've known about for years and years and years, and that's the vision board. Writing, pictures telling 1,000 words about your goals, about your dreams, the places that you want to go, the monies that you want to make, the kind of person that you want to be. If you're looking to lose weight, you take your picture, your face, and you put it on a picture of somebody who's slim and trim. But these vision boards help you to stay focused on your dreams. Monitor and track your progress. We talk about this every morning, I think, with all of the platforms that we have. The social auto poster, which actually helps you to monitor and to track your progress. We've got now the social, the contact management system, which will likewise help us to track our progress. If people aren't, talking to us, then we can just put them in the email, have them, series of emails going out to them, and then tracking what the delivery is. Are they opening them? Are they just, leaving them in their, in their Gmail account or whatever? But the point is, you've got to monitor and track your progress. So in conclusion, I just want to say simply, you want to make sure that you don't lose sight, because if you do, you'll actually lose the fight. So tonight, what I hope that I brought some illumination on is identifying or going back and revisiting your what and your why, making sure that you plug into the system, establishing a daily action plan, and becoming a professional inviter and managing your expectations. And with that having said, I want you to make sure that you stay charged, and I want you to stay on task. And I'd like to thank you for attending our webinar tonight. If you have any questions,